Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Vedanta Bhupali. This is a text written in the local language of Maharashtra called as Marathi. Bhupali is normally sung in the various temples, and in those temples they try to awaken God as if He is sleeping. Actually we are sleeping, God is not sleeping. But the devotees feel, probably the God has slept and therefore we are miserable. So they say various kinds of bhajans, Kandan Bhupali, and they tell the God, oh God, please wake up. It is time, don't sleep too much. Everybody is watching you. Because you sleep late, everybody sleeps late. So please wake up. In fact, this is required to be told to people like us. This being the Vedanta Bhupali, it is not merely waking out of sleep, but it is waking out of the sleep of ignorance. We have to awake to our essential nature. Unless we awake to our essential nature, the problems of this relative world will never come to an end. There will be one or the other problem, and there is no end to that. Our struggle in life is that we want to write something on the waters which are flowing in the Ganges. So, as we cannot write on the flowing waters anything in the same manner, to imagine that this relative world will give us happiness, and our whole life, if we find it is nothing but a struggle to fulfill our desires. See, like Bhagwan Shakaracharya says, our life story he writes in a very poetic form. बालस्तावत् क्रीडा सक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणी रक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न रक्तः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दम्. Our life is only try to fulfill the desires. As a child we are busy in playing, we want different things. Then we become teenage or little grown up, then we are running after the boys or the girls. And then when we are old, we are buried under worries. See, the people from Bihar, UP and Bengal, they are never worried. Because they pronounce V as B. So they are always buried. Now a buried person cannot be worried. So constantly worry. Parane Brahmani kopi na sakta. We do not have even one moment just to pause and look within as to who is miserable. Like we come across this problem every now and then. People will come and say, how are you? I am very disturbed. Excuse me, please introduce, who are you? See, like many times we receive phone calls. And without telling their identity, they say, Are, Yusuf hai kya? So what can we reply? So I reply, wrong question, not wrong number. Number is right, therefore it is connected. Question is wrong. So like that one person phoned and he asked me, somebody is there. I said, wrong question. So he said, what? Wrong number or wrong question? I said wrong question. Number is right, therefore it is corrected. Number is not wrong, question is wrong. You seem to be a different person. I said, of course, I am different and better than you. And then that person became my friend. So whenever he phones, he says, wrong question speaking. He has kept his name as a wrong question. So, when somebody talks to us, it is obligatory that he introduces himself. Otherwise, how can we know to whom you are talking? Suppose a child is talking to me and I don't know any background about that person. And the child says, Swami, I am very miserable on phone. So what will I do? Beta, get married. Swami, I am only 10 years. Okay, get divorced. No, I never got married. How can I divorce? See? Therefore, when we go to somebody and say, I am very miserable, so please introduce yourself. Who are you? See? I am Jagdish Chandra Bose. I didn't ask your name, my dear. Who are you? I am a scientist. I didn't ask your profession, my dear. Who are you? Of course, I am Indian. I didn't ask your nationality. Who is this who is miserable? See? And when you dig to the source, you will come to a point that somebody is miserable. So unless we take care of this somebody, miseries can never end. So when I say I am husband, miserable, so who is miserable? It is the husband who is miserable, not the man. See? That is why I have spread it number of times. The definition of husband is the one who stops smiling. Husband. And he can never smile because of the load of the wife. Wife need not be heavy, but she is so much all over his mind that he just can't live like a man. He is always living like a husband. One young boy came and met me, Swamiji, on the airport. He asked, Swamiji, I am very happy to see you. I am your fan. Please tell me something. And he asked me some question. I said, before you ask me a question, I want to ask you, what is that? Are you married? He said, no, my face looks like that. See, a married man's face has a different light coming out. See, who is this who is miserable? So unless we inquire into, solution cannot be. So to this we have to be awakened. We are sleeping in this dark place of ignorance. Therefore, whatever you may do in your own life, unless you come to discover your essential self, there is no way out. It is not obsession. It is the fact. It is something like if I say, if you want to see the colors and forms, you have to use eyes and not the ears. Is it an obsession? See? In the same manner, Atmavid Tarati Shokam, Upanishad says, unless we come to discover that we are the source of all bliss, don't search anything outside. Because whatever we are doing or not doing, both the things are only for getting happiness. See, one person is eating a lot for getting happiness. The other person is observing fast for getting happiness. One other person sleeps in the morning up to 9 o'clock in his bed for happiness. Other fellow wakes up early in the morning and starts running 5 kilometers only for happiness. See, one gets married for happiness, other gets separated for happiness. All our efforts are only for getting happiness, and we can never get happiness. What we can get is struggle. So unless we discover that we are the source of happiness, all that we do in our life is called as Kunjara Shauchavat. You know, Kunjara Shauchavat means how the elephant takes the bath. Sometimes if you see on the internet or the Discovery Channel, there you will see, sometimes they show the elephant things. So elephants are lucky, they have got a built-in shower. So they go to the river and suck the waters and then they shower. Like we do with the lota, you know, they have got a built-in shower. And after they have taken complete bath, then they go to the sand area. And then they suck the sand and then they do the powdering, you know, talcum powder type everywhere. Then they go to see the elephanting. Smart. So after washing the body, again they dust it in the same manner. We do everything and again we dust with this frustration. See friends, it is necessary for us to be convinced of this. We have to live in this world. We have to live through the body, never live as the body. See? And for this, we don't have to go through miserable experiences. Wise people learn from the experiences of others. Otherwise, people don't learn even from their own experiences. See the tragedy or a comedy? If we can learn from our own experiences, there is no reason we will become miserable in life. See friends, and this choice is given to us. Learn, learn, learn. And when the process of learning is kept intact, you know what is the most beautiful part? We never become old. Old people are those who refuse to learn anything. अब सीख के क्या करेंगे? Worry, continue. See, don't worry whether you use what you have learned or not. Learn anything. Learn Chinese. Doesn't matter. See, this process of learning inaugurates a different faculty in your system. Otherwise, the same thing, get up in the morning. I thought last night I will die, but I could not die. The whole day I had to go through disgusted existence. See? Mahatmas are never frustrated. Gatasu na gatasuscha nanu shochanti pandita. What is the reason? Because they are constantly learning. Learn anything. In today's world, learn computer science. See? How to do animation? Learn. See? You will become animated. So, we have to rise up, wake up from this sleep of ignorance that we are sleeping. And unless we are ready to wake up, nobody can wake us up. You know, you must have seen in your house, there are two types of people. Those who are sleeping, you can wake them up. Those who are not sleeping, but pretending that they are sleeping, you cannot wake them up. Swami, how do you know our personal things? See? So first of all, we have to recognize that we are sleeping. Or we are pretending that we are sleeping. First recognize this. And then we will come to know that most of us are pretending that we are sleeping. We are not sleeping. Because we are awakened to this relative world, but we don't want out to the awakening in the absolute reality. The reason being, I will lose everything. See? Upanishad says, na karmana na prajaya dhane na tyage naike amrutatva manasya. Unless we are ready to renounce everything in this world, there is no possibility of recognition of the self. See, one simple example I will give you. Even a simple thing like sleep, unless we give up everything in this world, to the extent that the last attempt, I want to sleep, this I and the want, unless this is given up, the sleep doesn't begin. So for a half an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours sleep, we have to give up everything. That time we are neither man, woman, young, old, rich, poor, healthy, unhealthy. Then only the sleep comes. In the same manner, unless we are ready to renounce the stupid I, there is no possibility of recognition of the self. And till such time, only suffer. See, friends. Therefore, this Vedanta Bhupali helps the seekers to awaken from the sleep of ignorance. This book, it has got a very different story. There was one lady in Pune, many years before, she is no more now. So I used to go to her house, a very sweet lady. One day, she told me, she gave me about, there are totally 31 verses, she gave me about 8 or 10 of them. He said, Swamiji, once I went to somewhere, maybe in Konkan, Ratnagiri or somewhere, or Marathwada, I don't remember. She went there, she said, where I was staying, in that house there was one old lady. And that old lady, in the morning she will get up and then she will start singing this. So, when I heard, I found that there is some meaning in this thing. So I asked that lady, old lady, Amma, what is the meaning? I don't know what is the meaning. I just say something to be said in the morning. So, she said, I took the dictation. When she was chanting, I took it. And after I took it, I found it is pretty good. So I give it to you, you do what you like. So I read it. When I read that, I found the thoughts are okay, but they are not leading anywhere. And there were many lacunae which could be filled in. See, it is something like a nice road, but there were some potholes here and there. So you don't discard the road, you fill in them and make it, motorable. In the same manner, in this thought process, I have added whatever was missing. And this is how this Vedanta Bhupali has come up. In this Bhupali, the technique or the tradition is, we chant the Bhupali early in the morning first. See, how our whole day is lived depends on how do you begin your day. If we begin our day, oh God, we feel so, I don't know, then the whole day is lost. We have to begin our day in an inspired mode. If a person begins his or her day in an inspired mode, most of the things are done. Because an inspired person does not see obstacles. An inspired person doesn't look at the world as a problem. Two things. An inspired person takes the problems as challenges. He doesn't look at them as problem. And he doesn't see the obstacles because he wants to overcome and reach the goal. Because what is an obstacle? Obstacle is that which appears after our attention from the goal is taken away. See, for example, I am talking to you on a topic and I hope you are listening to me. Now in between, suppose the children talk, go here and there, if that is creating disturbance for me and for you, then we are not dedicated to the goal of Shravan and listening or speaking. A person who is dedicated to the goal, he has no obstacles in life. Can you imagine our terrorist bandhu going with a gun and asking that person, "Arey yaar, 2 दिन से चाय नहीं पिया, चाय पिला दे." No, there are no obstacles because commitment to the goal is complete. These two things, looking at the world as a challenge and overcoming the obstacles in life, is possible only when we begin our day in an inspired mode. See, we have to be inspired. Otherwise, all done-witted, baji ke kya karenge, and such people don't die. The tragedy is this. So they are neither interested in living nor allowing other people to celebrate our deaths. They are dragged through life. See, friends. Therefore, Vedanta Bhupali is how we begin our day. Well begun is well done. And for that, the first step, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says in Gita, Kaivalyadham svagamam partha na etatvai upapadyate kshudram hrudaya daurbalyam tyaktva parantapa. Hey Parantapa, hey Arjun, Kaivalyadham svagama. Don't yield to impotency. Impotency is lack of inspiration. We have to be inspired in life. If we are not inspired, we will be perspired. What is the difference between an inspired person and perspired person? Inspired person never complains. Perspired persons only complains. And such people become the complaint box thereafter. They have got complaint about everything in life. Okay? I remember here, in our this hospital, so many people come. Many years before, one Bengali couple came. And they came here to reduce weight. Both of them were solids, around 100. And then the doctor checks them, and then doctor gives the prescription. So this patient, this food, this patient, this food. So accordingly the cooks have prepared, your name is so and so, Chatterjee, Banerjee, Mukherjee, this food you have to eat. And when that disgusting food was given, that lady became very angry. And what kind of food this is? He said, this is what the doctor told us to give you, we can't give you anything else, you have to eat this. This kind of food we give to dogs. So that cook innocently said, we also give this kind of food to dogs only. Did you realize what he said and what it meant? When you have come to reduce weight and you are complaining, do you want more food? See? In the same manner, what for we are here? To put on the weight of ego and mamata and anta, or to get rid of that? See? Therefore, to walk the spiritual path, the first step is live an inspired life. First step. Inspiration begins early in the morning. Those who wake up after the sunrise, in the next life, they become bed bugs. So next time you see a bed bug, you start feeling affinity. Kaivalyadham. You know, in one family in Calcutta, when I said this, the whole family wakes up very late, all lazy. Filthy rich people are lazy. So they wake up very late. And when I said like this thing, after lecture, all of them, Swamiji, we will all bite you. In our next life, when we become bugs, we will bite you. I said, look here, you will get the life of a bug. I am not born again. My cinema is over. The idea is, begin your day in an inspired mode. We have got two types of sleeps. One type of sleep is that after which we become fresh. Second type of sleep is that after which we become more lazy. And the time when you get out of the sleep and the time when you get out of the bed, if that time is wide, 1 hour, 2 hours, during that period, all the energy that we have recharged during the sleep, that whole energy is discharged. And then such a person, when he gets up from the sleep, अब तुम चाय बना लो, मैं recognize this principle. Sleep is not meant for becoming lazy, but it is recharging so that we can be more productive in life. So this is the Bhupali. We have to start early in the morning. Now what is Vedanta Bhupali? What is Vedanta? Vedanta means the knowledge as given in the Upanishad. Upanishad Shabdena Brahma Vidya Uchyate. What is meant by Upanishad or Vedanta is this. See, this word Upanishad comes according to the etymological derivation as Shat is the dhatu, the root, and Upa and the Ni, these are the prefixes, Upasarga added. So Upa plus Ni plus Shada and Nich Pratyay becomes Upanishad. Now this Shat Dhatu has got three meanings. One is Himsa Gati Avasadhanam. 3. Himsa Gati Avasadhaneshu. What is the Himsa? Himsa is destruction. Shada, destruction. This Upanishadic knowledge destroys the ignorance. Therefore, it is Upanishad. Second is Gati. Gati is destination. This Upanishadic knowledge leads us to the ultimate destination of our own presence, our essential nature. That is Upanishad. And the third, avasadhanam, means weakening, loosening. Then the problem of this relative world will no more be a botheration. Thus, this Upanishadic knowledge helps us in weakening the influence of the relative world, then in destroying the ignorance about ourselves, and ultimately leading Gati to the destination of our own being. These three things happen through the Upanishadic knowledge, and this Upanishad is called as a Vedanta. Vedanta means the Veda Anta. It is the ultimate in the knowledge. See, Veda is not a book. Upanishad, we don't accept Upanishad as a book. Upanishad is Brahma Vidya. And it is printed on the book, therefore formality we call it as a Upanishad, but it is not. Like, on a railway platform, when a train comes, it is written there, Chennai. Now that train is not a Chennai. It is a way to the destination called as Chennai. In the same manner, Upanishad is our own essential nature. Because in our own essential nature alone, ignorance is totally absent. There is no relativity samsara. And we are ourselves independent of all relativity. Therefore, Vedanta means our own immediate self. So, Vedanta Bhupali, therefore, will mean that we are going back to our own essential self right in the morning. It is for this purpose this Vedanta Bhupali has to be studied. Now, the first verse I will read, you can read again after me. Uthi uthi ma jivaraya, sodi avidya nindyamaya, vyartha jata se narakaya, swarupi savadha hoitu. Here the Guru Maharaj is coming and waking up the disciple, because disciple is the one who is always sleeping and Guru is the one who doesn't need the sleep. See, in every house this is a problem. There is always some vigilance officer in our Indian families. Who is the vigilance officer? The one who is old, and they are all the time worried about why the youngsters keep sleeping late. And for them there is no problem of waking up early in the morning, because whole night they didn't sleep. So there is no problem of waking up. So they are called vigilance. Similarly, the Guru Maharaj is vigilant that the disciple is not waking up from these three enemies, Alasya, Nidra, Pramad. So the teacher says, Uthi uthi ma jivaraya. My dear Jiva, wake up, wake up. Enough. How long are you going to sleep? Uthi uthi ma jivaraya. Then, sodi avidya nindya maya. You are lost in. Avidya does not mean absence of knowledge. Avidya or ignorance means incomplete knowledge. See, many places you must have heard, when they talk about avidya or ajnanam, they speak that avidya or ajnanam is absence of knowledge. Knowledge can never be absent. There is no possibility. Knowledge can never be absent. Then what is the meaning of ajnana or avidya? It means a means apurna, or in ignorance I means incomplete. Incomplete knowledge is detrimental. See, if you do not know, there is no problem. Like in this daily advertising, they show something on the television. When you did not know about that product, you never desire. Absolutely don't know, no problem. When you see that and they present it such a beautiful way, then we say, oh, how important, how nice it is, if I buy right now, I can save 5,000 rupees. Who is the fool to give you so cheap? But we are the fool, we imagine that. And then we get the product. And when the product comes, then the question comes, for whom to cut so much of vegetable? Because there are hardly 2 persons at home. And the machine that we buy is good for running a 5-star hotel. In 2 minutes, you can cut 20 kg of potatoes. But you are hardly 2. In your whole lifetime, you eat 20 kgs of potato. So, you did not know fully that is it useful for us or not. That is incomplete knowledge. And this incomplete knowledge creates problem in life. Therefore, sodi avidya. Don't think that what you are getting through your sense organs, through your mind, through your intellect is the reality. It is not. Sodi avidya nindya maya. See, maya means what? This is another word which is very much mistaken. There are two things. One is avidya, second is maya. Avidya is with reference to the jiva, the individual. And maya is with reference to the Ishvara, the God. We have to go beyond both. See, for rejecting the avidya, the Vedanta sadhana is practiced. It is called as the Tvam Pada Shodhanam. This is what we have to do. And for going beyond the maya, nindya maya, we have to surrender to the Lord. So for the Tat Pada Shodhanam in Tattvamasi Mahavakya, when it comes, we'll study detail. So there, like Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Daivi Hesha Gudamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Evaye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. My Maya is Duratyaya, difficult to transcend and go beyond. See? But Mam Evaye Prapadyante, those who surrender to me, to my will, they will never be influenced by the Maya. Therefore, these are the two aspects in our spiritual practice. One is going beyond the avidya, the conditioning because of which the individual jiva is recognized to be existing, and second is the conditioning of the maya because of which the Paramatma is reduced to the status of God. In this manner, sodi avidya nindya maya, then vyarthanata se narakaya. See, in Hamsa Gita, in Mahabharata, this topic comes. In that Hamsa Gita, the topic is like this. Once Narayana took the form of a golden swan, and the Siddha Purushas, they came to him and asked, what is the best in life? And then the Lord Hamsa explains. Because somebody asked, Yudhishthira asked a question to Pitamaha Bhishma when he was on the Sharashaya. That time he says, there is one Katha Akhyayika I will tell you. And in that the Hamsa Gita is told. So what is the most valuable thing that we all have is this. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Vivek Chudamani, when he says, Durlabham Trayamevaitat Devanugraha Hetukam Manushyatvam Mumukshutvam Mahapurusha Samsrayaha. These three things are rare indeed in our life. First, we are born as human beings. If you see the total creation, the fraction which is occupied by the human beings is so minimum, not even 0.00001% of the total creation. See? So, Manushyatvam, a rare possibility has happened in our case. Then, second is Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutva is a recognition that we are leading a most unproductive, disgusting, miserable life. This we don't understand even. See, if you are wanting to see a good movie, there is one animation movie, do see. It is called as Rio. And that movie is about the bird. There used to be a blue parrot, very rare kind, and he was somehow, in somebody's house. Now the story I will not tell you. And when he was staying in that small house, and that lady was having a shop, and he became so friendly with that lady, and he thought this is all life is. There is nothing beyond this. And when the situation comes, and when there is an opportunity for him to fly high in the sky, he was thinking it is a bondage to be free. And he was afraid, although he was a bird, he can never imagine that I can fly. He was only one thing, because whole life in that small house, he doesn't do fly. So he used to see his owner, she was walking, so he will also walk. As she will dance on the feet, he will also dance. But never fly, although he is a bird. In the same manner, we have the wings to fly high in the sky and discover our own divinity. We are still rotting on this earth, only collecting the things and creating the relations and getting buried under that. See, friends, this is the height of foolishness, that we don't recognize that in our life, if we have to write an autobiography, what we will write? We have only fulfilled our desires till date, and yet we have not discovered fulfillment in life. See, friends, when you see many old people, they have nothing but frustration, depression, dejection. What God has not given you, everything is given. And yet, drugs, drinks, and frustration. See? Because we are not recognized that there is some higher possibility in life. It is something like this. There was a Sethi, and he heard that there is something called as computer. So he told his Munim, Munimji, go and get some expensive computer. So Munimji went and bought one computer for 200,000 rupees. And show me what this does. See, now to that Sethi who has never done anything except counting the notes, he said, see, it can do the totaling very easily. 50 plus 50, see 30. Don't do the thing. See? Oh, very good. And thereafter, the Sethi started using the computer. Dhobi 5 rupees, sabji 2 rupees, doodh 3.5 rupees. That's all. Now that computer, which can do so many things, is used only for totaling the daily expenses. Is it not the height of foolishness? Why talk about Sethi? Talk about ourselves. We go and buy expensive phones. Out of those expensive phones and so many applications, how many we use? We even do not know how to send an SMS. But I want the latest one has come. Are we using it in the same manner? The highest potentiality that is dormant in every one of us. When we don't recognize, we have no mumukshutva, because we are not recognizing our own infinite potentiality. Therefore, Manushyatvam Mumukshutvam, then Mahapurusha Samsrayaha. Now this is one of the most difficult things. You know, when a person has never gone to temples, to satsang, never studied scriptures, all the time, I have done this thing, I have done this thing, I have done this thing. Such people, when they become old, become frustrated. The other day, one lady wrote me a letter. Swamiji, I congratulate you. So I wrote, thank you. Then again she wrote, you didn't ask why. I said, why bother? Congratulations, that's it. No, my husband came for the satsang. My husband never goes anywhere because he thinks he is the wisest person in the whole world. Everybody is a fool. And when he came to your satsang, I could not believe that he is with me in the satsang. Now we are married for last 35 years. But never, he has gone to a temple or to a satsang. But I don't know how come he came to your satsanga. You deserve special congratulations. See? I said, why don't you ask him? He said, if I ask him, he'll stop coming. So let him come. See, Mahapurusha Samsraya, the ability to surrender before someone is one of the biggest obstacles for most of the intellectuals. Intellectuals suffer because of the arrogance of the intellect. They are not able to recognize there is something higher in this world. And therefore, these three things, Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samsraya, these three things, they are in our life. Ishvaranugrahateva. It is the grace of the God. See? The grace of the God we recognize depending upon what is our thinking process. If I am unmarried, what will be the grace of the God? God, please get me a nice bride. And then you get a bride and you become a broom. Bhagwan ki kirpa se shaadi ho gayi. God's grace. If you are studying in the 12th standard, God's grace, oh God, I should pass through. I didn't study, but I should pass through. God's grace. If I have got some health problem, God's grace is I get the right kind of medicine. Okay? But we never recognize God's grace means we are able to inaugurate the infinite potentiality that is dormant in every one of us. See, in Avadhuta Gita, the first verse is this. Ishvaranugrahat eva pumsam advaita vasana mahat bhaya paritranat vipranam upajayate. It is the divine grace alone that we are able to seek the absolute reality. So, here, Vyartha Zata say Nara Kaya. Nara means human being, Kaya means body. You know, in Sanskrit language, the Ka suffix is added without changing the meaning of the word. Like, you know, Bala means a child. Balastavat Krida Sakta. And Balaka means also a child. Similarly, Nara and Naraka. Same. What comes out of our body? Will we like to discuss in public? Other than disgust, nothing comes out. See? And whole life we are only carrying these all filth and dust and all terrible things. And then this body I am. See? So Vyartha Zata say Nara Kaya, therefore Swarupi Savadha Huitu. See? Spiritual practice is living in utter awareness. Savadhani se jina mane sadhana. All the problems in life happen because we are not alert. That's all. Whenever the accidents happen anywhere, accidents don't happen because the driver doesn't know driving. Accidents happen because the person who is driving, he is not alert. For a fraction of moment, alertness goes and there he is. See, friends. In the same manner, now apply this alertness in our total life. See, Yudhishthira was asked this question, what is the most wonderful thing in this whole world? So, the Yudhishthira tells, the most wonderful thing in the world is, people see every day other people dying. They go to the graveyard, the cremation ground, dispose them off. But they never think, one day we are standing in a queue. And they live as if they are going to live to eternity. And because of the lack of this awareness, they do not invoke the higher possibility in our life. See, this thing I discovered many years before when I was young. I happened to meet one very old man, and he was a retired professor of university. So when I met him, I said, "Dr. Sam, how are you?" So he said, "Please sit down," and told his daughter, "Prepare something for Swamiji and don't come till I call you." So she went, and I was sitting with him. And he started crying. So again I said, "Dr. Sam, what happened?" "Don't call me doctor." I said, "Okay, patient." Then he said, "I have got doctorate and because of that I am head of the department. But my own student has proved what I proved to be right as wrong, and I have signed that thesis. And yet I am a doctorate. How much I am carrying the load of frustration in my life. Any time anybody calls me wise, I know I am otherwise, not wise." See friends, in the old age, all the wrong deeds that we have done throughout our life, they start surfacing. Kimahagam papam akaravam iti, kimahagam sadhuna karavam, Taittiriya Upanishad says. And then in the old age, other than the frustration, depression, dejection, when we were young, in 1922 in Shimla, who cares? We don't understand that the world is not interested in our past. The world is concerned about their own future. But only like us have nothing but the past. There is no future. Future is for the youngsters. And yet the whole life is spent only in these rubbish kind of TV shows. Keep on up to 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then and then what the youngsters are learning? Vyartha jata se narakaya. How much we are wasting the best opportunity that is given to us. In South India, Hubli, I happened to go a few years before. And there is the Gujarati Samaj. And that Gujarati Samaj, people invited me for a talk. So when I was going to the dais, one elderly man told me, "Swamiji, please bring this point that our younger generation is getting spoiled because of the TV. They should stop seeing TV." This is how they gave me chabi and sent me on the dais. So I started. When I was coming, I was told to speak the ills of the TV. Then I started. If TV has destroyed any generation, it is the elder generation. In every house, the elderly people are so glued to the TV that there is nothing else for them. You go to anybody's house during their own serial time, go that time, look at their faces. Dumb. And what are all those serials? As if you have got less problem in your life. You are learning how problem can be created. See friends, then we get identified with those characters. Oh, my mother-in-law is also like that. So this daughter does better. What a life it is. See friends, in one place, brother and sister, both of them now married, grown up. When they were in school, they complained to their parents. Both the parents had their parents with them. So in their house there were 4 old people. Mother's mother, father, father's mother, father. 4 of them. A small house, not a very big house. In the drawing room, TV. Like a relay race, the TV is 24/7 on. And the children have to study. So they complained, Mama, why don't you tell Dada, Dadi, you stop this TV all the time, we get fed up. So the mother said to her parents, this is what is happening, why don't you stop? No, we will not stop. When we were children, we never saw the TV. Now till we die, we will see TV. Now what can you do with these old people in the house? See? Then we complain that elderly people are not respected. What do we have to respect? Because we are old. Becoming old is a qualification. And what is our contribution in becoming old? It is poor earth which is running around the sun, and you are becoming old. See, friend, vyartha jat se narakaya. See? This is one of the biggest problems in the world, that the younger generation does not have any altar which can motivate and inspire them. They look at the politicians are corrupt. They look at the elderly people in the house all the time glued to the TV. They see the teachers good for nothing. Now where will they get motivation and inspiration? And then we go and condemn them. See, friends. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Yad yad acharati sreshtaha tatta deve tarojana. Why we old people respect our parents? Because we have seen how much sacrifice they have done for us. In today's world, it is nothing of that sort. Only what do I get, what do I get? My comforts. See, friends. Therefore, vyartha jata se narakaya swarupi savada hoitu. We have to recognize our essential nature. See, friends, unless we become fully involved on the spiritual path, we will, be all the time, like one of the complaints we hear. Complaining, Swamiji, when we are listening to you, everything is so simple and very nice, But again, when we go out, we put on our shoes. Again, it is the same thing. We come back to square one. What should we do? Don't put on your shoes. Put on somebody else's shoes. Second thing. I will ask you a question. You reply that, and that will be reply to your question. My question is, at 7 o'clock I take breakfast. Yes. But again at 12 o'clock I am hungry. What should I do? Eat. Thank you so much. I take food at 12 o'clock, but again at 5 o'clock I am hungry. What should I do? Again eat. Oh, thank you so much. But again at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock I feel hungry. What should I do? Again eat. Such simple things you don't know, Swamiji. No, this is not a question. It is not one day. Every day it is the same thing. Every day eat 4 times. In the same manner. Satsanga every day. See, friends. Like for the body, food is necessary. For the life, breathing is necessary. In the same manner, for the soul, satsanga is necessary. How much care we take about all the stones and bricks and the curtains and the furniture. But have we ever thought about some higher potentiality in our life? Swarupi savada hoi. See, friends. And this is possible when we are savada, we are extremely alert. See, alertness is every step. We fulfill our desires. Has it given us fulfillment? Once, twice, thrice, All the time the same mistake. See? And yet we don't learn. And therefore here the teacher is, with all love, compassion for the disciple, is saying, Uthi uthi ba jivaraya, sodi avidya ninyamaya, vyarthazata se narakaya, saropi savada hoitu. Start living in awareness. That is important. Rest we will take in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya